Yo, we got a video by Benny Park. I've been in an Avatar like craving for like ever since I finished like Avatar and like Korra. Those were both good shows, and I was thinking about watching the live action, but kind of scared of it because I just hold the original so fucking up high. I just don't want to watch the live action to like slander it at all. I never watched like the 2010 the horrible one that came out. I only saw like the clips. But yeah, let's just get into this. Hold on. The vid's called Aang finally beat the allegations. What allegations?
As a kid, you was a part of one of two major factions, right? First, you got the superior faction known as Nickelodeon, and then you got the other one called, like, what was it called? Like, Cartoon Network or something like that.
Bro, chill. Cartoon Network got some fucking shows, bro. Regular show, Adventure Time. It's been some time since I watched them, but those shits were tough. Ed, Ed and Eddie, Codename Kid Next Door, bro. Come on. I ain't watched Disney
It
though.
was something like that. Now, if you can't tell which one I chose when I was only yay high, I was a Nick.
Whoa!
Wow.
Wow.
That was a Nick kid, bro. Now, obviously, as I get older, I now know what I was missing out on because Cartoon Network actually had a little bit of hard hitters like, what, Codename Kids Next Door,
Facts.
Johnny Test, Teen Titans. Sorry, but Nickelodeon had it.
Forgot about that. That shit was tough, bro. That shit was tough. Teen Titans, that new shit, that shit's garbage.
But The Last Airbender, Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron. You need me to keep going? I'll pull Colorado right now. Avatar Bliss, no def. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I keep it this. Listen. Notice how I said it was two major factions. You also got the lesser known as Disney XD. You had WB Kids, Toonami. You had all that. I don't remember which channel this come on.
Tsunami, I watch that shit every night. Every night I watch that shit. Love it.
Slugterra?
The fuck?
Slugterra was that? Now, at a certain point in growth as a young man, you start to feel certain feelings that you never felt before, especially around the age of 12 to 13. With this information being known, I would like for you to imagine the pain, anger, and pissed offness that I felt when Aang ever spoke in Katara's direction. I know for a fact that I would not be able to do a single thing to Aang. What? Put me in a room with him, and I would have at least tried. We started off on this boat with Sokka and Katara while they was fishing, right? Now, Katara is the only waterbender in the South Pole, and Sokka is her brother. This is muy importante. I need you to remember this, bro. After arguing about fish and whatnot, they got caught in a current and was left stranded on this block of ice. The first thing Sokka does is blame Katara for not helping out after telling her how weird she is for being able to
Sokka
bend
was a
while they was on
bitch.
like a new arguing before. She ends up getting heated and really start talking
In
to
the
that
early seasons.
all of a sudden,
I mean, the early
water
episodes.
splashes from left to right. Cracks start to appear in the glacier behind her. She is going
Taro was hurt.
insane. The water glows a little bit, and the iceberg emerges with a boy and a beast inside. Katara ran towards the ball of ice and immediately tries to break it without a second of doubt. Then she did it. Now, when you restart your phone and the logo pop up on the screen before you could actually do something signaling that your phone is actually on, the same thing happened to Aang. This could have happened anywhere else in the world, right? Like Ba Sing Se, the Air Temple. Zuko just so happened to be in the South Pole looking for that man, and he saw that
shit
light
was
pillar. He
crazy.
really believes that he finally found the Avatar and tells his uncle, but Iroh just trying to finish his game, to be honest with you. He really ain't on this run for real, bro. As a matter of fact, my man's Iroh actually invited Zuko to get off Aang's buns over some tea and game. What? Zuko gotta be on that same thing Crocker on for Timmy, because he really ain't trying to hear none of that. He tells the helmsman to set a course at full throttle towards the beam in an unfamiliar territory filled with icebergs and glaciers. As firebenders, surrounded by water. I think he watched Titanic. Back to Aang, and like I said, he had this beam of light coming from him,
Zuko
which
was-
means that he entered the Avatar state for a second, but then he faints
Anything to
and
get his
falls
fucking
to the
honor.
bottom of this hill. As Katara caught him, he woke up and immediately asked her to go penguin sledding with him. Ooh, this pissing me off, bro. Then he finally remembers Appa and rushes over to check on him. Hey, bye, bro. Let me introduce you to my boy real quick. You see what I'm saying? This right here, his name
Appa
is
was
Appa,
tough.
the Flying Bison. Now, I'd also introduce you to my Momo too, but we ain't. Relax, bro. We ain't get to that part yet. Appa immediately shot out a super snort rocket at Sokka, and I ain't just gonna sit there and say, hey, don't worry about that. Hello, it actually washes up pretty well. I have a question.
Wait, can Katara waterbend that snot? Can she? Pretty sure she can.
Katara introduces herself and Sokka to a new friend, and Aang decides that he has to sneeze too and launches himself more than 10 feet in the sky. how he sneezes medulla oblongata out of his nostrils, right? Aang offers to give them both a ride back home, but when Appa goes to fly off, he figured that he was too tired and swam instead, right? Now, among having titles such as The Avatar and The Last Airbender, Aang has also claimed the title to be one with the Ashney. And I just let you know right now, 12-year-old me would 1000% dirty mark him if and when I had the opportunity. I'm just being real, bro. On the way back to the village, I ain't just looking back at Katara for some reason and smiles. No, when she asks him what he's smiling for, he replies, "Huh? I was smiling?" You got it, bro. Back to Zuko, right? No, he absolutely friggin' rock firing at the moment. This man was standing out in the dead of night, in his robes, hands clasped behind his back, looking off into the distance with only one thing on his mind. Trying to get the Avatar's pin. Look at yourself in the cold with nothing but robe on, and you're outside looking like you fumbled at it. You are not going to find him. Your father, great-grandfather, grandfather were all losers. What make you think you're not losers? To break it to you, but they was just sorry. Sorry as hell. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So Aang finally falls asleep and dreams about what happened to him before he was stuck in that iceberg. Mind you, he was piloting Appa up to this point. How was he half naked in a tent? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I realized in the first 10 minutes of this show that I already lost. I ain't gonna lie. You got it, bro. After Katara woke him, she introduces him to the entire village, which held a whopping 20 people, including a dog. After talking for a little bit, Katara's grandmother tells Aang that airbenders were extinct. Now, if I was Aang in this particular frame, I would think that Granny had some of that skits Tanjiro got, because what you talking? What you mean ain't no more air nomads, buddy? On the other hand, Sokka still don't believe that Aang or Appa could take flight, so Aang picks up his old reliable and proves it to him. Katara believes that Aang could be the key to her truly understanding waterbending, but her granny doesn't want her to get her hopes up. What's really going on? People past the age of 150 in the show, bro. All they trying to do is spare the young one's disappointment. I mean, I guess Iroh got a real reason to, because no one clearly put a belt on Zuko.
Katara was like the last waterbender in their tribe. So, of course, he was trying to keep her safe.
Go booty me before.
Like 12.
Katara? Why you doing that to Katara? She tells Granny that she really believes in Aang to be the one to actually help her, and literally in the next shot, this man got his tongue stuck in his glider. How you... Baby Granny at a point. Zuko is training, and there's certain things spotted that needs to be worked on. Bending fire don't come from muscle. It come from breath. He said, you would think he just told nephew who was adopted, because Zuko started getting up in Iroh's face talking crazy about what step of the training he's on. And Iroh just sitting there because he knows deep down in his gut that he can truly, undeniably, undoubtingly do this level. But he telling me he'll teach him after he finishes food. Where was all this spice when he told you your whole lineage was just buns and you're no different? Where back in the village, Sokka was doing a little bit of training himself. Question, where all these little squares come from? I thought it was only like 20 people. I started to play with the kids a little bit, but Sokka gets angry because he really wants them to be ready if they have to fight for their home. This child spots a penguin and runs a 200-meter dash in 2.3 seconds. Why are these balls in animation fast as hell like this when they ready, bro? He tries to catch a penguin and Katara sees that he can't, so she strikes up a deal. If she catches a penguin for him, Aang would have to teach her bending techniques. Now, Aang was a little confused about why she was asking him to be her sensei, because she should already know how to do what she wants to do. But this is the point where he actually finds out that she was the only waterbender in the South Pole. Remember when I tell you to remember that? You see what I say? You understand what I mean? Aang doesn't want better. He wants to take it to the North Pole and Appa to learn waterbending the proper way. She liked the sound of that, so she kept the end of the deal and threw a fish at Aang, causing all the penguins to surround him. They both go sledding and end up in the front of a wrecked Fire Navy ship. Aang, technically being over 100 years old, has never seen something like this and is naturally curious about it. Katara tried to stop him, but Aang said one of the coldest things I think I ever heard him say, bro. To be a bender, you must get rid of fear. They both walk into the ship, and Katara tells him that the war's been going on ever since he disappeared. Like I said, technically, Aang is over 100 years old, so when he learned this information, he fell onto his knees. As he was on the floor in shock, Katara goes down there to console him, and just like that, the Rizzler strikes again. He tells her that out of all the bad news he's been hearing, you know, everyone he knew is dead and gone, him being in a new timeline, him not having an airline no more, at least he got to meet Katara. Now you could imagine the rage that just filled Lil Bunny pot hot. They try to leave, but Aang triggers a booby trap that shot out a flare from the top of the ship, alerting all
Oh
nearby
my
fire Navy
god.
ships. Aang grabs guitar and flees the scene, but Zuko has already spotted them and is on his way to the pressing.
Well, nah, that video was tough. That video was tough. Oh. Nah, but the greatest cartoons ever. Number one right now, honestly.